You are welcome if you are watching. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you again. As we await people to join us, we will just carry on because we know that there are people who keep to time and are waiting and thinking, yes, what do we have for today? You are welcome, everyone. Thank you for always joining us, always supporting, always sharing, always sending the videos out for people to subscribe and to learn. The essence of this is to inspire, educate, and for us to learn from one another. I'm sure you must have watched the last video about pitfalls they need to avoid from your journey from secondary school to university. And we said it will be in series. So last week we talked about choosing the subjects, choosing A-level subjects, the colleges, and even the A-level subjects in school. But today we are talking about clearing. What is clearing? Sometimes you get to know all these words when you need them, but why not know beforehand? Clearing, we're talking about choosing the university. This is what after you've done your A levels. So today I will call on the screen our excellent, intelligent lady once more to come and tell us about clearing and choosing uni. It's not going to be a long one, so no fret. You are welcome on the screen.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for having me once again.
Yes. So just a quick intro and then you carry on to tell us what you have for today.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone who's able to watch live or those who may watch later on. Thank you for joining us. I'm not sure if you've watched our previous video, but just sort of reintroducing myself from there. My name is Zubair, but I also go by my other name as well, Ruth, and I'm currently a second-year economics and finance student at the University of Southampton. What we're going to do today, we're going to sort of continue on with a topic about pitfalls and what to avoid. And I've been asked to speak considering my journey with education has been quite, I'll say a long one, but it's one where I've been able to sort of make mistakes, learn from them, and sort of come up with ideas. Okay, if I was maybe 16, 17, I wish I'd known this, or I wish someone had told me this, and I'm here to share with you that information I've learned so you don't maybe do the same things that I did, or if you find yourself in a similar situation, what you can do to make the most of it and progress forward.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So most times we get to hear people do exams and then they want to choose, they've done their A levels, they've succeeded from secondary school, got admission into A levels, and they're like, okay, how do I know which university to pick? We talked about it last week. You go on UCAS and know what the universities will offer the course you want to do. Now, they pass the exam and wow, so smooth. They go into the university they want. But then some don't. They have to change universities, and that is where I think clearing comes in. So do you want to merge the two, choosing your university and clearing? Over to you. Just tell us all about it.
Okay, sure thing. So sort of going off what we said last time about choosing the best place for you to study your A-levels, similarly with the university, you have to do your research. I think the key word is always research, research, research. So it's a bit similar. Try to do a lot of research, get a lot of information about the university you want to choose. That way you can choose what's best for you and also best in regards to whatever course you want to do. So I know with some universities, people do tend to have a tendency to be like, oh, this is a highly rated university, I want to go there. And there's nothing wrong aspiring and aiming high. And I do believe everyone should go to a quote unquote high ranking. But one thing is, rankings change by depending on who's ranking it, number one. And it's more than just ranking that you need to look for. You need to look at employability. By going to this university, would I have maybe links to certain employers? Well, does my university offer employability skills and courses that, yes, okay, I've got my degree, but how am I now fit to enter the job market, the working world? And some universities their employability and marketing areas in their uni are very good, and they have lots of workshops, people to help you, lots of information to signpost you to make sure that once you have graduated, you're not just, okay, I've got a degree, how do I get a job? They have things in place to help you even find those jobs. Another thing to possibly consider is maybe your location. Some people will prefer to live, maybe go to a city uni like one in London. Some people will go to a more campus style uni, which, like for example, I've gone to a city uni, I've gone to one in Kings, and I've gone to London. And sometimes the location really can affect your education, just in terms of the pace and the lifestyle. Some people really don't like cities. Some people prefer things to be more quiet. So that's things, those are like factors you should also take into consideration. And also maybe the demographic of people, if there'll be certain types of people at that university. Oh, would I be able to relate with the people? Would I be able to relate with my lecturers? So just like with A levels, what college or sixth form you choose to go to, do your research, talk to the people, ask questions, think about what university will truly support you. What is this university truly going to offer me? Just don't pick it based on its name. Think about how would I really thrive at this university. And for example, some universities, it doesn't really matter the name, especially if you're doing, for example, a course like medicine. At the end of the day, you're all gonna graduate, and for your F1 and F2, which are your foundation years, you're all gonna most likely go into the NHS. But when picking your university, sorry to constantly reiterate, but I think it's all about research. Some universities, whilst they are good in the general topic, they have some sort of specialties that they're really good at. So you may think about, oh, maybe I want to go to this university because I'll be able to research more into this area, and they can have links or give you high-cutting research in certain areas, and you could be sort of experiencing forefront information, which will be very useful depending on what it is that you want to do. So I think those are things you should take into consideration, and be specific about what it is you want to do with your course and sort of what you want to gain out of it. Think about it, note it down, and use that to guide the questions you ask on open days and ask members of staff and faculty. So that's what I'll say. Research, research, research. And linking that into clearing. While personally I've never had to go through clearing, I think one thing I will personally state is some people have a weird stigma about clearing, and I think one thing is we should just get that out of the way. There's nothing wrong with clearing. Clearing is a situation where maybe you didn't get offers from the universities that you wanted, or maybe you did get an offer, but for one reason or another, you maybe did not meet the grades they wanted you to get. So what clearing is you go through a process of contacting several universities, saying, this is what I've got. Is there still space, gap on your course? Will I still be able to join and participate? And what clearing does is, and also this links back to what I said last time about having a good, whatever college or sixth form you go to, make sure that their career guidance people are very good, because they will sort of help you through this whole clearing process as well. And what it is that you will just go through, say, okay, this is the course I want to study. Can I get in? Is there space? This are my grades. Some unis are quite flexible. They'll be like, yes, sure thing, this is fine enough. And then you go through the whole process, and they'll lead you in how to sort of send your details in and what you may have to do in terms of accommodation. Some universities may not offer certain courses or spaces through clearing. That may be because they had to maybe take entrance exams, you had to take supplementary exams or tests before you can even get an offer from the course. So not every university has a spot on clearing, and not every course has a spot in clearing, depending on the university it is. So I think the thing about clearing is knowing that it's there, it's available for you in case things may not go to plan. And I think what I like about clearing is some people, going back to the stigma, some people have a stigma about it, but I know people who did brilliantly at GCSE, amazing at A levels, far better than I did, but they did not even get an offer and had to use clearing. And even when they went through clearing, they went to quite a good rated university, and they finished amazing, came out with a job, had a job offer even before they left university, but she was able to get onto that position, that course, through clearing. So
also,
I think,
sorry, just to cut you there, sorry about that. I'm looking at clearing as an opportunity to get for a second chance, because sometimes when people are choosing unis, they're like, oh, I want to be in Harvard, I want to be in Oxford, Cambridge. Yes, like you said, there's aim high. There's no need for you not to aim high, especially if you know what you want. But sometimes people are put under pressure, maybe because their sister is there or their brother is there. They're not considering other factors like you mentioned. So clearing I think, is an opportunity rather than a stigma. Opportunity to now, okay, I couldn't get into here because maybe I didn't get a high score, or maybe it's just not the kind of university I want. But my question is, what if you were given the university you wanted when you chose the university, and then after some months, you've kind of realized, oh, actually, I wouldn't want to go to that university again. I want a different one. Maybe for some reason, I don't know, for some reason you just change your mind. Would you still have to go through clearing if you need to reject what you were chosen for? Assuming you wanted Cambridge and you're like, oh yeah, I wanted Cambridge when I fill the form. But now I don't feel like going to Cambridge again. I just want to go to the next door university, the one next door to me. Would you have to go through clearing, or how does that work? Do you know?
what you'll have to do is, firstly, when you're choosing your options for university, when you go through UCAS, because everyone who lives here, and even I believe some EU and international students, I have to double check this information, have to use UCAS. So on UCAS, you pick your firm choice and your backup choice, and that's based on whether or not which one you want the most. So if you got into your firm choice or even your backup choice, and you realize that actually this isn't what I want, you will have to use clearing to apply to the new university you're aiming for. Whether that university has your course still available, that depends on the university that you're aiming for or the new university that you want to go to. Sometimes, and it doesn't always work, but once in a while, you may be able to actually call up the university department itself specifically. And if you had mitigating circumstances, or there was a reason why at the very last minute, you're really changing your mind, and you sort of, let's say, tick box all their criteria that you should get in, it might be worth a chance actually physically calling them up, explaining your situation, and having them sort of look over your application. I'm assuming this will be after results day. Around this time, a lot of places will be quite busy. A lot of admin departments will be busy, so they may not be able to pick up your call, or it may not go through. But I think that is always worth a shot. But what you will have to do is you will have to go through clearing. So I think also clearing is also used for when you've missed the deadlines for certain applications, and for certain unis, even up until, I want to say, late October, sometimes November, depending on the university and the course, you can still actually apply to join that course if they have it available. Like I said, it depends on the course, also it depends on the university itself. So you can use clearing that, okay, I've changed my mind, this isn't the uni I want to go to, I want to stay local. You can call up your local university and try and go through clearing, or if you're really hitting lots of stone walls and you're like, this isn't what I really want, I'm not getting anywhere, it will not hurt to actually call up the specific university yourself.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much. You've explained this, what clearing is and why it is necessary. Before I ask you this question on the screen, please could you explain the process of clearing? For example, someone has done an A levels and they haven't been chosen to the university they want. What do you need to do? But before then, I just want to thank those who are online, those who are watching. Thank you for joining us today to talk about this topic, because we know that this is a topic where people just find themselves in it because they haven't heard anything about it before. And we are kind of creating an awareness so that when people are writing exams, they know, oh, what steps do I need to take if this happens, if that happens, or if it goes smoothly, very well done, good. But if it doesn't, what do you need to do? That is what we don't want people panicking because, oh, they haven't made one score or one thing or the other. And so please write your questions in the comment down below, share the video, and Miss Bolariwa will be able to answer your questions. Thank you very much. So yes, could you please answer the question? Why could please could you explain the process? Someone gets their results. From when they get their results, how could you please explain?
Okay, so from results day, when you'll sort of get a notification based on whether or not you've got into your firm choice or your backup choice. If you didn't get into either, what you'll do is wait for clearing to open. Once clearing open, it's, I'll say, a similar process to applying to university as you had to do the first time. And what you'll do is you'll just follow the steps, sign in. You should have your UCAS login and everything ready with you. Sign in, and then you'll go through what courses are still open, what courses are still available through clearing, and you'll apply to those and see and hear and wait back and see if the university will take you based on your results. And I believe they may also have access to your personal statement as well. Or you may have to zhuzh it up a bit. I'm not 100% sure. What I would say is if you haven't gotten the results that you want through clearing in first place and you want to go through clearing, it's not a very long process. It's not a very tedious, or it may seem stressful because you're like, oh, my first options have gone. What am I going to do? And if you're sort of putting feelers out to see who will take you, you feel a bit anxious. One thing I'll say is just to sort of honestly relax. There will be an opportunity for you. If you panic, you're most likely to make a wrong choice. So what I'll say is once clearing opens, sign in, log in, go through the forms and the process that they offer you on clearing, fill them out. But even when you are picking options that are still open in clearing, don't just pick an option because you feel like, oh, this has happened, no, still look at the university, look at the options that you still have available to you and go through it and think, can I see myself doing this? Is this what I really want to do? And also, one thing I would say actually is if you have to go through clearing is think about the university you really want to go to, because if the course you do end up studying that you got through in clearing is in the same department as your course that you originally wanted, some universities, and this is a case-by-case thing, but some universities, once you get in, you can just swap courses. Okay. It is a bit of it really is a case-by-case situation. But if your course is within the same department and you're like, actually, I don't really like this course anymore, you can speak to your tutor on your course at your university, speak to your department lead, so on. Each uni has its own rules and regulations about it. But they sort of sometimes actually do allow you to switch courses if it's within the same department, and you don't have to reapply or anything. They just switch courses for you. So that's also one tip I would give. If, for example, you did have to go through clearing, maybe try and find maybe try and get a course that maybe still be open within that department of your original uni. Like I said, it is a case-by-case situation, so it's not applicable to every course, every university, every circumstances, but most of the time within the same department, especially if it's first semester, first year, they allow you to sort of majority of the time just sort of jump over and switch, especially if it's related courses or slightly similar courses, and they allow you to switch without you having to reapply. And some unis also, it's very, very, very rare, but some unis may even allow you to switch schools of study. So you may have started off doing I don't know, physics or something, and you want to switch to something completely else. Depending on the school, depending on the uni, they may also, depending on your grades, they may allow you to just switch over the schools.
Okay.
Very rare, but it could happen. So I'll say take that into account also when you're choosing clearing, because sometimes people go through a course in clearing, and then you can easily switch over into what you find a bit more palatable. That can also help.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's wonderful. So clearing has to do with either switching or changing your course or changing a uni. So it's not just about, oh, I must do this course, and so this uni is not, no, I've not been chosen here, so I need to look for another uni. You could actually, if you have not been chosen for that course, still within that uni, choose a different course if that's the uni you want. So I think it's about weighing your priorities and what you really want. Okay, so thank you very much. So it's good to know that it's not the end of life if life happens. You know, when I say life happens, like you didn't get the grades you wanted and you know you worked hard for it. Don't kill yourself. Don't panic. Don't go depressed. There is still a way out. Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Is there anything else you want to say while we round up? Because I know we've spent 22 minutes already.
Yeah.
And I know people will be like, oh, I have more questions. So please, if you have questions, put it down below. Even if you're watching after we have ended the live broadcast, you can still put your questions down below and Ruth will answer them. Thank you. So any last words for our people?
I will say now is a great time just to, a bit similarly to what I said last time, just to familiarize yourself with the UCAS websites, with just like sort of toggle around, just sort of see what it is. And I'll say in regards to, like I said, research in regards to choosing your uni and your course. But I'll say specifically with clearing, please try to go to a college or a sixth form that has a good career support so they can help you through the whole clearing process if that does happen to you. Also, I'll say it's fail to plan to fail. I'm not saying, obviously, if you've got an offer, fantastic, congratulations. But even before that, think of what you'll do if things were not to go to plan. I think it's always just think ahead of the worst case scenario and just sort of mentally fortify yourself just in case of anything. I think that's all I'll say. But always double check, because UCAS is always updating its website, giving you new information as it's relevant. So even if whatever I'm saying to you now, always go back on UCAS, also look at the specific uni websites and always double check, because sometimes things are changing quite quickly, and just don't take information as, oh yeah, that's it. Always go back and double check the information that you've been given. That's what I'll also say.
Oh, thank you. That was so helpful. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time here and educating us, because some people may not need it themselves, but they know people who need this information. So if you don't know, there's no way to advise or help someone, support someone through it when they're going through it. So now we know. Thank you very much. So this is the end of today's series on pitfalls to avoid on your journey from secondary to university. Next week, we will be talking about gap year and apprenticeship. So please connect next week, Saturday, on the next topic in this series. And I hope you invite someone. I'll put the notice closer to the time so everyone can link up. And the way you wouldn't miss this series is if you subscribe, because then you get a notification. Subscribe, get a notification, put on your notification bell, and you will get the notification when we are coming on live. Thank you very much, Ruth Bolariwa. Thank you, and God bless you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, viewers, you've heard it all from her. Next week, we're talking about next week, we're talking about clearing, and we're talking about apprenticeship. Be here and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.